So today we are going to be talking about Leonhard Euler. So Euler was one of the most brilliant mathematician, and his work was overwhelming both in terms of quantity and quality. His published work is there in almost 72 volumes of books, so that speaks a lot. Euler was born in 1707 in Switzerland, and at a young age, his father arranged for some classes with Jean Bernoulli. You must be knowing Bernoulli. The whole Bernoulli family has given a lot of contribution to mathematics and physics. So he used to go for classes on weekends to Jean Bernoulli, and Bernoulli wasn't the most kind-hearted of persons. So he wasn't too happy about Euler coming initially, but over time he realized Euler's potential, and Euler started publishing papers at a very young age. And at the age of just 19, he won the award from the French Academy for his work on optimum placement of mass on the ship. And that time he hadn't even seen an actual ship going on the sea. So such was the brilliance of Euler. At the age of 20, he got a position in St. Petersburg, and it was in the medical department because there was no faculty position available in the maths department. But soon he got into the maths department, and the work he had done at this age was really tremendous. He started losing his eyesight soon, but that didn't stop him from doing his work. He would go on to do the most amazing work in algebra, number theory, geometry. Everywhere there is something associated with Euler. And even though he was getting blind, he was revealing the mysteries of light to the world. It didn't stop him from his work. So that's about Euler, and we are going to see a few series, something that Euler was very captivated with, and we are first going to start with this series. So Winton, I'm going to try to see if you know this. You sum up all the natural numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3, and go up to infinity.
Okay.
What do you think this goes up to?
Is it obvious infinity?
It seems to be a big number, but it ends up at minus 1 by 12.
What?
That's quite weird. Yeah, I know. I mean, how can a sum of positive integers end up at minus 1 by 12? But that is what it is. Anyway, we won't be seeing this series. I'll show you another series. Let's just take the reciprocal of these numbers. So let's take 1 and the reciprocal of 2, that is half, and 1/3 and 1/4, and I'm going to go up to 8 because I want to just show you something, and so on, up to infinity. What do you think this goes up to?
Now, I wouldn't dare to guess this because I got it wrong the first time.
Yeah, this seems to be, something, but this turns out to be plus infinity. That's quite weird.
Okay, now, okay.
So each of these numbers are quite big, but you're taking the reciprocal and these numbers are smaller, but this goes to plus infinity. This goes to minus 1 by 12. So this proof is kind of not too difficult. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take powers of 2 and compare these numbers with the powers of 2. So this we are going to compare with half. And 1/3 and 1/4. So 1/3 is greater than 1/4.
Yeah.
1/4 we are going to keep it as it is. Okay. And we are going to add them up. And these 4 numbers we are going to take together. These 2 we took together. The next power of 2 is 8.
8.
Right? So instead of 1/5 we are going to write 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Each of these
Smaller than the 1/5, 1/6.
right. Each of this is 1/5 is greater than this. Each of these terms are greater than this. And if you add these two, what do you get?
That's a half.
That's a half. And if you add these,
That's a half.
that's again a half. So can you guess what will be the next bunch? that will again give you a half.
But
Right.
we're taking 8 numbers there, right?
Yeah, so this will be 8 numbers,
Yes.
1 by 16, that will give you a half.
Half.
So effectively you are getting half plus half plus half plus half and so on. And this is a divergent series.
Yes.
Okay, so basically the sum blows up. So how much ever, if you give me any number, I can give you some terms of numbers which will give you a sum bigger than whatever number you give.
Yes, correct.
Right? So it's going to blow up and this is going to go up to infinity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what happens is if you take this half plus half plus half, it goes and blows up. It becomes a big sum. And we saw that each of these terms was bigger than this series, right? So if this blows up,
Yeah, I get it.
obviously this also has to blow up, the first series that we saw.
But somehow you say that the first one is negative. Negative.
Yeah, the first one was minus a rational number, and this blows up to infinity. That's quite crazy. So in the next part of the video, we are going to see one of the series which had really captivated Euler, and it was called the Basel problem because Euler is from Basel, and it had captivated even the Bernoullis. Jacob Bernoulli, even Leibniz, they say, had tried solving this but couldn't get an answer. So the question is this. So you take 1 and you take the square of numbers, 1/4, the reciprocal of the squares of numbers, and 1/9 and 1 by 16 and so on.
So the first number is 1 by 1 square. The
1 by
second
1
number
by
is-
square. Right.
Second number is 1 by
2 square, 3 square, 4 square and so on.
Okay.
Can you take a wild guess at this, Minton?
Actually, I wouldn't dare at this moment.
Yeah. So turns out this goes to the number somewhere close to 2. Okay. And
So you just try it like put the
yeah, you just substitute. This is 1, this is 0.25 and so on. You keep on adding.
So it comes around 2, is it?
So it was known to be somewhere around 2 at that point of time, but nobody knew what the number was. So Euler did some calculations. He actually calculated this number up to 20 decimal spaces. Can you imagine? 20 decimal spaces.
My God, that's without a calculator.
Without a calculator, that's right. So at that point of time, he just had to manually calculate all this. And he got something like this, 1.644, I think, something around that, and up to 20 decimals. And it was remarkable that he did this manual calculation, and even though it doesn't look like any number that we know, it was still, a remarkable calculation. And well, nowadays, later Euler proved that this is the number pi square upon 6. That's quite amazing, isn't it? You take natural numbers, you square them up, you take the reciprocal of that, and this relates to pi, where pi is somewhere on a circle, right? Is related to a circle. You take the circumference of a circle, you divide it by the diameter, you'll get pi.
So somehow this series is related to
Yeah, in a weird way, this series is somehow related to a circle. That was amazing. That was the vision of Euler. He could connect different branches of mathematics and somehow, make this ridiculous sort of claims and finally get them. So we are going to talk about this in the next one.